Hello everyone. We are now in mid-November of 2017 and Earth changes are heating up big time. The deadliest and most destructive earthquake of the year rumbled across the border between Iran and Iraq on November 12th, leaving behind unimaginable devastation that has been compared to a war zone. This event eclipsed the earthquake that occurred 2 months ago on September 23rd in Mexico City. The epicenter of the 7.3 Iran-Iraq seismic event was located just to the south of Darbaktakan. The earthquake hit at a depth of 14 miles with such significant force that aftershocks were felt in the neighboring countries of Turkey, Lebanon, Kuwait, and Pakistan. More than 500 villages in the regions nearest to the epicenter suffered significant damage. Here are some images of the incredible devastation from the Iran-Iraq earthquake of November 2017. Iran sits on a major fault line between the Arabian and the Eurasian plates. The deadliest earthquake to hit this area in this century occurred in 2003 when a magnitude 6.6 killed nearly 26,000 people. Nearly 8 hours after the deadliest earthquake of 2017 struck Iran and Iraq, a dangerous and shallow 6.5 magnitude earthquake hit Costa Rica. The epicenter was situated at a depth of 12.3 miles. Subterranean tremors were felt in the neighboring countries of Nicaragua and Panama. The power of these earthquakes are being felt far and wide. Check it out. Seismic activity measuring between 5 and 7 is exponentially becoming more intense as time passes, as this chart indicates. But so are the strange sounds that are clearly coming from the sky, which may be a precursor to catastrophic events. These ominous sounds recorded on the 1st of November from Indonesia may be heralding in the time of trouble. Listen to the voices from the sky. From Indonesia to Calgary, Canada, the mysterious screeching trumpet sounds were recorded. Antarctica is a mysterious continent under giant sheets of ice. But despite the fact that it is hidden under massive sheets of ice, recent discoveries has revealed dozens of volcanoes on the frozen continent of Antarctica. In August of this year, scientists found 91 volcanoes under the Antarctic ice. Just a few days ago, a new heat source was found below the continent that is driving volcanism and ice melt. On November 13th, the British Antarctic Survey revealed a new Antarctic heat map showing sub-ice hotspots across the icy continent, and thus representing the geothermal heat flux at the base of the Antarctic ice sheet. This map will help to comprehend future changes of the Antarctic ice sheet and its impact on global sea level, since it is believed that at some future date, the Antarctic ice cap will melt, causing continents to disappear. Our world has changed much quicker in the past 30-some years than what even scientists could have imagined in their calculated expectations. Earth changes in our recent past would often happen as part of a natural cycle, but in many respects the Earth is reacting to a variety of environmental changes wrought by humanity, many of which are detrimental to civilization. It's true that things can happen just about anywhere and at any time without advanced warning or prediction, and the Earth is reacting with a fury of its own accord. A perfect example of this can be found along the California coast, where erosion is becoming a very serious problem. There is an old saying in California folklore that one day the state will literally fall into the ocean, a process created by the overdevelopment of housing and infrastructure in areas that are susceptible to nature's inclination. With each passing year, people along the California coast are praying that their home will still be standing high above the Pacific shore, rather than seen in pieces in the water below. Giant waves created by a changing climate are eroding the coast and gobbling up rocks and ground, and destabilizing the cliffs in the process. In Pacifica, California, the ocean engulfed more than 50 feet of land that separated the homes from the ocean. For some of these cliff dwellers living on the edge of danger, a few more big storms and their biggest nightmare will become a living reality. Here at Skywatch Media, we remind our viewers and subscribers that nature is in a state of flux. Our weather, which was once considered to be cyclical or occurring in an expected wave of activity, is now behaving in abnormal ways with severe consequences for millions of people across vast regions. Record rainfall, stronger monsoon seasons, and devastating storms are increasing in intensity across the world, leaving countries and their citizens many feet underwater in states of emergency. At this moment, there are 5 countries that are facing heavy floods. In Greece, authorities declared a state of emergency after a cyclone caused significant material damage. Floods, mud flows damaged buildings and cars washed away. Flash floods hit Greece on November 15th as a raging torrent swept through towns west of Athens. In Libya, torrential rains led to floods in the capital of Tripoli, disrupting traffic and creating havoc on November 14th. In Honduras, people were seen wading knee-deep in the floodwaters caused by torrential rains on November 13th. In Uganda, heavy rains flooded businesses in and around the city of Kampala on November 13th. A powerful start to the monsoon season in Malaysia has caused severe floods in the district of Hula Langat. Just recently, the city of Penang suffered severe flood devastation, as shown here. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, record-breaking rains have flooded the Dreamland Beach in Bali, one of the most pristine white sandy beaches in the world, turning it into a swirling black swamp as a giant flash flood engulfed everything in its path. The world is entering a series of cataclysmic events. Disasters continue to increase, affecting more than 500 million people every year. The number of climate-related disasters, including floods, storms, heat waves, drought, and wildfires, have dramatically increased in this century. As we enter into a time of trouble for all people, there will be many events that shall come to pass that will try our faith and our conscience. But as we look to the sky, we shall be comforted, For it is here that all knowledge and understanding shall be revealed unto those who seek the truth.